So, dear brothers and sisters, there's an American conservative speaker. His name is Charlie Kirk, and he does a lot of work on American campuses. He's very interesting because he'll set up a little stall in a university, and then he'll just allow students to ask questions, and this is all very public, and of course everyone has their phones out as well in case someone says something controversial. But then people will argue or debate with them about, like, maybe pro-life issues, is abortion okay or not, or about immigration or racism or all these kind of topics that are typically or hot button topics in the States anyway, and indeed for some of the Christian world as well. But he was invited to speak. There are certain things now I don't want to advertise because they're not the best things to be watching, but he was invited to speak on a certain show where they spoke. It was him and I think 6 ladies who work for a certain website, which shall remain nameless, where they basically post pictures of themselves in various states of undress. And he was speaking to them about their lives, their lifestyle. And again, he's Christian, he's not Catholic, he's Christian, but he's asking just some reasonable questions, very reasonable questions, asking them about why they do this and what they do it for and how they see the long-term effects of it and so on. So at one point he asks them, what is your goal for life? As in, what eventually would you like to achieve? And the first girl hesitates quite a lot, and she says, well, I guess I'd love to be married with kids. And he says, okay, what about yourself? The next girl says, yeah, family. The next girl, yeah, I'd love to have kids. The next girl, yeah, I'd love to be married with kids. Yeah, next girl, yeah, same. So all of them, even though they work in an industry where they take a lot of photos of themselves, as I say, in various states of undress, and that goes out into the world where you have no control over where those photos go, ultimately, their goal in life is to be married and have kids. And then he just asks this wonderfully simple question. He says, so the way you're living your life now, is that helping you to achieve that goal, or is that an obstacle to achieving that goal? See, there's no judgment. The way it was just geniusly phrased. He's not saying, and the statey and the cutty and what. There was nothing like that. Nothing like that. No judgment at all. He just asking them the logical question. The way you're living your life now, the choices you're making today, is that helping you to achieve the goal that you want for yourself? You stated the goal. I didn't impose anything. You want to be married and have kids. Is the way you're living your life now, is that an obstacle to that goal, or is it a help to that goal? And I just thought it was. Now, I won't go into the rest of the debate. Some argued that you need money in order to have kids, and therefore some said then you need to provide for yourself, your kid, and often for your husband as well, if he's not working. And then he asks the question, well, why would you choose a man who isn't working? Why would you choose to marry a man who can't provide or won't provide? If he's living off your wage because he wants to stay home gaming, why are you with him? Anyway, that's another discussion. But I think for ourselves, and here in Holy Family, we're going to have a little retreat day today, and I think this is a really important question to reflect on. The goal I have for myself, hopefully, ultimately, the greatest goal, the ultimate goal for all of us is heaven, I hope, I think. That should be the ultimate goal. What do you want to do in life? Well, hopefully, to get to heaven. That's the greatest goal. Then in the meantime, there are other goals, like, yes, getting married, having kids, fulfilling our vocation in some way. Then there are much more short-term goals, like maybe surviving today, getting the exam, getting my driving test, finishing my degree, those kind of things. There are more short-term goals there as well. But it's just to look at that. Hang on, what am I actually trying to achieve? Because the danger with the pace of our lives is we get very, what's it called, short-sighted? Is it short-sighted when you can't see far? When you're looking too close. This is maybe slightly off topic, but it works for me. If you're a race car driver, or if you're racing cars in general, or driving anything fast, if you want to take a bend fast, the worst thing you can do is look too close in front of the car. You probably learned this when you were driving. The first time you came to a bend, if you look really close at the line, you'll turn into the line, then what will happen? You're really close to the line. Now what do you have to do? You have to back away from the line, but you're still on a bend. So you have to finish the bend. So basically, if you look too close to the car, you'll turn in too early, you'll have to straighten, and then you turn in again, which makes everyone in the back feel sick. It's bad driving, right? In order to take a bend well, you see the bend coming, you have to look at your exit. You look at the exit. You don't look right in front of the car, or you'll be constantly adjusting, and you're unstable. It's also bad for grip when you're traveling fast. So what do? You pick your line. You get over the opposite side of the lane from the bend, and you look at your exit, and you just pick a line through it and straighten, etc. Right, if you're go-karting, and it's all the same. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I like these things, but the point is the same. If we look too close, then we don't see where we're going. Right? If my goal is, and this happens, people. They live for the weekend. They live for the weekend. Do you know what I mean? They just work all day, work all for the 5 days it is, and then go out on Friday or Saturday night and just get hammered. And then what? Do it all again. And that's it. Like the goal is so short term. What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to be a father? Do you want to be a husband? Do you want to be a provider? Because living like that, you're living the life of an absolute idiot. You're training yourself to satisfy your needs immediately. And no wife wants that. No wife wants to live with a man like that. So if you want to be a husband and a provider, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way I would say it to someone, I understand. But like when our goals are shorter, when our view is just one step ahead, that's a ridiculous way to live. So we have to live with a goal in mind and live our lives in a way that helps us to achieve that goal. Again, it sounds so simple, but when it's said out loud, you mightn't ever have thought of it. I know for myself, when I heard Charlie Kirk say that, I thought that's really helpful. Because I know for myself, again, we have so many things to get done here on a daily basis and then a weekly basis, and then we're planning a month ahead, and then we're kind of planning now for our 10th year anniversary next year, so we have to kind of keep that in mind as well. All these kind of things, all these kind of things going on. But hang on. In 50, 60 years' time, when I'm out of here, out of this life, what am I hoping to leave as a legacy? Like, what's my goal in life? And the way I'm living my life today, is that helping me to achieve that goal, or is that getting in the way? When I'm gone, what do I want people to say of me? He was great crack, or he was a good father, he was a good brother, he was a loyal friend. Is that the way I'm living today? Do I want people to say he was a man of prayer? Is that the way I'm living today? Do I want people to say he was a person who always had a smile on his face, was always happy to see you and always made you feel welcome? Is that the way I'm living today? He was a person who put the will of God first, and you could see it in him. Is that the way I'm living today? Because if not, like, when do I want to start? When do I want to start? What are our goals? And if those goals are clear, and it's good, and that's why, again, today on our retreat day, we're going to take some time to think about that. What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What's the Lord placing in your heart? And then what do I need to do today that helps me achieve that goal? Again, it sounds so obvious. If you're planning to go to Dublin, right? You go out the gate and you choose the route that brings you to Dublin. You don't go out the gate and choose a road that you like. If it's not bringing you towards the destination that you want to go, it doesn't matter that you like it. You're the mountain road, let's go that way. It's the wrong direction. The mountain road, let's go through the Nire Valley. You're going the wrong direction. It's a lovely view, But Dublin's that way. So yes, it mightn't be the nicest road between here and the motorway in spots. Okay. But if that's the goal, then that's the road you have to take. Now, you can go a longer way around. It's not as efficient, but okay, it'll get you there. But there's no point just going plain the wrong way because it's familiar. And that's often, again, it's an analogy, but it sounds so stupid. And yet, I'm sure either we've done it or we see people who do it. They do what they know is stupid. They know it's wrong. I was talking to a person not so long ago. There's addiction in their family. She has seen alcoholism in her family, and now she's falling into the same thing herself. She knows it's the wrong direction, but it's like she can't she can help herself, but it's familiar. It's comforting in some way. I know I shouldn't, but have you the courage or the wherewithal or the will to stop and turn a different direction and say, Lord, with you, I know I can go the right direction. I know I can become the mother, the wife that you're calling me to be. I need to leave that direction behind in order to go where you're calling me. But I don't want to. Part of me doesn't want to. It's familiar. I like it. Yes, but it's killing you. And that can be any addiction or habit or the way we use our money or the way we use our time. We know it's not what we're supposed to be doing, but it's what I've always done. That doesn't make it the right way. So will we, do we want to leave these familiar roads behind us because they're not bringing us the direction we're supposed to go? Do we want to leave them behind? And this is where then the battle starts, where part of me doesn't. There's a lazy part of us. There's a part in us that just wants to satisfy our passions. Okay, that's real, good. Now what are you going to do about it? Just because those parts are there doesn't mean they have to be listened to. They're there. Are we willing to sacrifice ourselves? Are we willing to pray? Are we willing to find friends who will keep us accountable? Are we willing to grow? If we are, we have all the grace of heaven available to us. But if I don't want to change, then there's nothing that even God can do. If I don't want to change, there's nothing even God can do. So it's life-giving to think of the call that God has placed in our hearts, the destiny, the goal, so that the ultimate goal, yes, heaven. Then the more medium term, our vocation here on earth, and then our short-term goals are the things that we want to achieve over the next year or two. And ask myself, these good and holy goals, the way I'm living my life today, am I helping myself, or am I an obstacle to the goals that God has placed in my heart? Am I an obstacle to the goals that I want for my life? If so, Lord, today, strengthen us for what will be, or what it maybe already is, a battle. May we not go into this with our eyes shut, but with our eyes wide open. This is difficult. But the prize is eternal happiness. The prize is God himself. May our Blessed Lady pray with us and for us, that we can come to know the heart of her Son and live according to his designs. Amen.